ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon for February 10th, 2018, with your host, Beastbreaker2448, and Rapid Epsilon.
Hi.
Hi. You know, is it bad that Ty's been streaming Kingdom Hearts 1 all day and I've only watched so much of it?
Nah, because I've not hopped in either.
Okay. Because I know he does not like Kingdom Hearts at all. And I'm like, I look, some of the things he's going to bring up, I completely understand. But at some point, I'm like, why are you playing this? You don't like this series. Why are you playing this?
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to play really bad games. It's another to play Kingdom Hearts when Kingdom Hearts is not something you like to start with. Because I think that honestly the main reason he doesn't like Kingdom Hearts is he's a big fan of action games like Bayonetta and Devil May Cry and stuff like that. And if you really like those and come into Kingdom Hearts with that mindset, yeah, you're not going to like the experience. Because it is a much slower action game. Because it's an action RPG, not a straight action game, which is what those games are. But anyway, before we get into articles, and yes, we'll talk about that Kingdom Hearts 3 thing first, because of course we will. Tell me, what have you been playing?
I think it's pretty obvious on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Been playing a lot of Odyssey, and before that it was Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. Up closer on Breath of the Wild to being, I wouldn't say done with it, but doing the main stuff on it. Although I need to get more shrines and get more hearts, because I don't think the end game is going to be very nice to me with the amount of hearts I have.
How many you got?
Not enough to be on the second row.
I don't think I got second row until after I had beat it, so you're probably alright.
Oh, okay. Of course, I can't cook worth shit, so... Well, I can only cook the basic stuff. I can't get any of the advanced, like the special tune stuff. Because I think I've only done it like once by accident, and I don't even remember how I did that to start with. Because there's like a tune for you screwing up and you getting dubious foods. Then there's the normal tune, and then there's the special tune when you make something really good. And I've only made something really good once. But yeah, I'm in Gerudo Town. I got the costume. I got the mission to start the run to doing the Divine Beast. So I should be done with all 4 Divine Beasts next week.
I think at that point you should have access to the DLC. Because I don't think you have to fully beat the game once.
No, you don't. I think as long as you have beaten the Divine Beast, you get access to the Champions Ballad stuff. And I think after I pull the Master Sword, I can get access to all the Master Trial stuff. And I think pulling the Master Sword is probably going to be the last thing I do before doing a bunch of DLC stuff.
Now, the Master Sword stuff you will want 13 hearts for.
Mm-hmm. Kind of can't pull the sword otherwise.
Yeah, but otherwise, not that bad.
Mm-hmm. I did find out that as I'm playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I might be doing a New Game Plus run of this. Because there's like 6 more rare blades you can get if you import your save to a New Game Plus file. But the good news is all your levels and stuff carry over, so yeah, you get to rip everything apart until you get to whatever point you're at level wise that things don't stop dying in like 2 hits, assumingly. Although you might get kick out of this dumb thing I read on Reddit when I was looking up odds of getting a rare blade in the various core crystals you pick up. A guy pointed out that the more rare blades you get, the lower the chance of you getting a rare blade is. Bear in mind, there's a finite number of rare blades you can get in the game. So the more rare blades you unlock, the less of a chance of you getting a rare blade. That's obvious there, son. Like, what did you think was going to happen? God damn it. Granted, I want to unlock all the rare blades before I even begin to touch a New Game Plus file or start the end game of the game right now. Because I'm at the point where I can start the end game, but I want to unlock all the rare blades and do a whole bunch of other stuff before I do that. Unfortunately, getting rare blades is it's essentially like pulling good things out of a loot box. Because the blade system in this game with the core crystals is just like a loot box. You get a core crystal, you open it up, and you either get a common blade, which is one of a dozen blades you'd have at that point of the same body type, indoor weapon, indoor element, or it's the rare blade, which is what you want to start with. Good news is, all those core crystals, they drop by the dozens as commons. And even if you get a legendary core crystal, it won't drop a rare blade. Guarantee. It can still be a common. It's so dumb. So, but yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is probably the only other real thing I've been playing besides, oh, hey, I played Pokemon Go, and I got a Kyogre today in raids. My first legendary. Yay.
Well, you also can't forget the attempt at the Odyssey race.
Ah, yes, that attempt at an Odyssey race where we were side by side for the most part until we both went in the Sand Kingdom, and then you took off, and I went, I only have 6 moons. Where do I get 3 more moons? Shit. And then proceed, I think, to spend at least one point for 10 minutes waiting on the damn bird because I didn't know where else to go. I made some very poor choices in Sand Kingdom. And then proceeded to make even more poor choices for the rest of the run. That ended at luncheon before I even started luncheon, really. Because I died like 4 or 5 times at luncheon before I even got a fucking single moon. 1 moon! I think that's a show of how tired I was. So I know I was tired by the end there. And I is just nope. I will do a run and get a time. But I need a route. Just a route. Just a list of go get these moons. These are quick moons. And it could be like +3 to what I actually need. That way I have alternatives in case I need them. But I just need a list of moons and know where the fuck they are. Because otherwise, I'm not doing this in a reasonable time, speedrun wise. Because at luncheon, it was 2.5 hours I was at. Just now getting in the luncheon. And there's what, 4 worlds left?
Yeah.
It's Ruined, which is just a boss fight. It's Bowser, which is linear.
For the most part, you do have to get 2 moons besides what you have to actually get.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for the most part, that one's pretty linear.
Yeah, there's no real way of speeding up Bowser. There's Moon, which
Moon
I
skip, and that's about it.
yeah,
Really.
I don't know where Moonskip is.
That's honestly an easy one.
Okay.
Like, honestly, I can give you a walkthrough on that one, and it'll be, like, super easy to get. Oh, piss. Oh, piss. I'm moon collecting on my main account, and my Joy-Con decided it was going to do the whole up thing.
The thing it was doing during the race.
Yeah.
Yay.
I fixed it to where it quit doing it as often, but it still does it.
Mm-hmm. I have, for those wondering, seen Lupin Ranger versus Pataranger episode 1, Raw, today, when I was watching Build. I still have my concerns about the show, but I like it. But I've liked 3 Sentais that I dropped in the teens because they got to be very bad real quick. And what's bad is that's last of the 3 of the last 4 series. The only exception was Zoocher, and Zoocher was good, and I stuck with it the whole show. Because I still feel like the Patarangers might be superfluous to the show. They're only here to chase the Lupin Rangers and to be a nuisance to them, and then join their side at some point. Because the Lupin Rangers are the focus of the episode. They get, I want to say, all of the characterization, really, of the episode. The Patarangers get it a little bit, but it's mainly just the Red that gets the characterization, and it's just him being angry and pissy that he gets shown up by the Lupin Rangers doing their fucking job for them. And them always being late to the party, I guess. But maybe that'll change in episode 2. I don't know. I just want a good Sentai series. That's all I want. And Build was good, as always. I have a feeling. I honestly feel like Build can crack the top tier of my favorites list right now. Like, if it can keep up the quality it has right now, I think it can. You still enjoying Build?
Yeah.
Although okay, it's from the end of the episode, and I assume subs will make it more clear. But I have to wonder if Rouge and Stark are back on the same page.
Doubt it.
Because I don't know. It seems like they're back on the same page at the end of this episode. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Has this been a long time? It even makes me wonder what the fuck Stark's game is, because I think he's sided with the third country now after portraying the second one to the third country.
Probably.
Like, what is your game? What is your end goal?
You haven't figured that out?
I mean, it's
He's
most
not trying to start the war. He's after something far bigger.
yeah, but like, what is it?
Okay,
The box?
they've dropped it a little bit.
The
We know the bottles had to be purified
mm-hmm.
to unlock the full effects from the Pandora's box.
Right.
Right now, he knows where the box is. He knows where all the bottles are. Now he's playing tick them all off, get them all distracted so he can swipe all the bottles and the box and do his end goal.
Yeah.
So, of course, he's going to side with the third country to
Get
get
their
them
bottles.
and get them involved in the war, too.
Granted, he just keeps giving the bottles to Sento. I'm just like, are you just giving them the
because he knows he can take them from him right now. That whole he wants to see him get stronger is a line of crap.
Sento's just the box he wants all his bottles to be in for the moment.
Yep.
He's just like, can you hold these for me while I go fuck over another country in order to get like 10 more? Except, I think he actually stole both panels from both of those countries now. No, yes, he has! Because Sento has the blue and red panels from the other two countries. And bottles from both of them.
Yep.
I don't think he has all the bottles now, because I think he still needs the ones that Hokuto has. Or Hokuto stole back. Granted, Sento will have all 60 bottles by the end of the series because of the toy catalog scan stuff. Don't worry, we'll get to it at the end of the show, and oh boy. Oh boy.
But that's exactly what I'm saying there.
Mm-hmm.
That's planned.
Mm-hmm.
Like, super planned. Because that was intended all along.
And of course, I think I've seen people say that like they don't want Stark to be final villain, and I'm like, but like we haven't had a final villain like from episode 3, 2 or 3. Really, episode 1, but I'm like Stark, not Suichi Stark.
I don't know. I kind of want him to be final villain.
I do too, because it's like he's been here since episode 1, and he has been playing everyone since then. We haven't had that since. It would have been X-Aid if Dan was the actual final villain of the series, but he's not. He just gets to be final villain of all the material with another ending. Not on Ghost. Not in Drive. Not in Double, not in those. Not really in Forza. Wizard didn't happen because Gremlin came in halfway through the show to fuck over everything. Gaim? Kind of? But we're talking about a different kind of, like, setup for final villain? With Kaito?
Yeah. Well, maybe. I don't know. That's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, technically that was set up from the beginning.
Right, but Kaito's a different kind of villain for the long run than Soichi is.
Like, really, with Gaim, I wouldn't even say there is a final villain.
Not really.
Like, really, final villain was the invasion kind of deal.
Yeah, it was the investment of themselves.
Yeah.
Which Koto was just like, fuck off this planet somewhere in the cosmos, and me and Maya are gonna go make it better. Bye. See you whenever you need us for a crossover. And by we, I mean me, because Maya only ever shows back up for full throttle. She hasn't shown back up since.
Yeah, you're right. Dang.
Granted, Kota didn't even show up for Heisei Generations. He just got to be a suit in audio clips. Final, he actually got to show up, but Generations, no. Which is weird to think because I would have to assume Mai has all the same power Kota has at this point.
You would have to think, anyhow.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, since we got a good bit of articles to talk through, you want to get started?
I guess so.
All right. First up, yes, the D23 footage. We got 2 trailers. We're going to be looking at the one, which is the actual gameplay trailer. We're not going to look at the theme song trailer that has Riku showing that his keyblade got broken in the World of Darkness, and he's getting a new one, which is kind of interesting, but also his line of leaving it for his other self because he doesn't have another self at all. So, yay! Confusion! That's normal. Oh god, is that so normal? But yeah, this new trailer shows off the Monsters Inc. world that got leaked a couple months back. So, ready to watch it?
I guess so.
All right. We will start it up here then in 3, 2, 1, go! Now, point out stuff along the way. By the way, this is the Japanese audio. There is no English audio video just yet. I assume they're still working on the localization.
Well, there won't be audio on ours anyhow because, copyright stuff.
Well, true. Just like for those wondering why there's subtitles, it's the Japanese voice track. Also, Sora doesn't remember Marluxia at all from Chain of Memories. You know, that asshole that I whipped the monkey ass of in the final boss, and he was totally not the hardest boss in that game at all. Which I think someone pointed out on Tumblr that Sora should remember him, but it's Kingdom Hearts nonsense. Bit more Toy Story cutscene stuff. Which I have to wonder, what are they going to do against the Heartless? Also, the best part of the trailer, Boo! From Monsters Inc., who is absolutely fucking adorable. Like I said, Boo is absolutely adorable in the best part of this trailer. But yeah, some of the gameplay from the Monsters Inc. world, as you can see, Mike and Sully are party members, as we've seen so far. The Monsters Inc. Keyblade gives us a dual claw form, and later on it gives us a dual yo-yo form. A bit of shot lock action with some grind grilling. Rapunzel and Flynn, party members for Rapunzel's world, and a look at Rapunzel's the Rapunzel world Keyblade. And the form change, which is a staff, and I guess wisdom form, technically. What I assume is an aerial summon. Bit more shot lock stuff. The special attack, or I think the finishing attack, I think is what these are. A little bit more of the Toy Story Keyblade action. The Teacups flow traction from, God, so long ago. I assume one of the major bosses from the Toy Story world that we get to shoot the rocket at. It looks like it's got at least 2 different phases we're going to be dealing with. A little bit Monsters Inc. with some of the flow motion. This is where we're going to see that the double yo-yo I was saying before. One of the finishing attacks. Boo with her laugh power as a gauge. I don't know what that means. Dream Eater summon, I assume? Maybe? Or Dream Eater limit? Also, hi Vanitas! Welcome back! And for those wondering, Ventus's heart is currently in Sora, so that's why Vanitas is like, hey, you, give me my shit back. And that is the trailer. Is still coming some point this year. And supposedly during the event at D23, they said we would get a release date at E3. Apparently that's not confirmed. That didn't get said. So that's not happening. I got really excited because I thought, hey, release date at E3. Hell yeah. Nope, not the case. Although someone in the comments there said that he's expecting another delay. Actually, in one of the people I follow on Twitter, Super Buns, pointed this out. Kingdom Hearts 3 has never been delayed. Because we've never gotten a release date for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Okay. It's never technically been delayed then.
Yes.
How long has this been known about being in the works?
Since 2014.
So it would be safe to say it's been delayed.
Considering it had to go through a complete engine rework and transition from I think, what was it? Square's Luminality engine to an Unreal engine, yeah, I'm sure internally it's been delayed. Externally, no. Internally, more than likely, yes. It probably would have been on track for a release by now if they didn't have that complete engine overhaul that they had to do when they transitioned.
Which makes you wonder, why did they have to transition?
Probably because Luminality didn't work out that well. I'm willing to bet.
And also, I want to point out, kind of a dumb decision to not have your engine be easily converted into other common engines.
Yeah, especially when it's an internal engine. Internal in-house engine, but it's like transitioning between operating systems. That's a hassle.
Okay, but to this I'm going to say, you give me a Microsoft Office Word document. It doesn't matter which operating system you use. You can open that with multiple different programs. You would think a game engine, they would at least try to make it to where even if they couldn't get all of it, at least most of it would transition.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's a story of Kingdom Hearts 3's development that we'll probably never hear about.
Oh, I'm sure you're right on that.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, we'll probably hear about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the other trailer was the new theme song by Hikari. It's a slower paced theme than we've gotten before. The only notable thing is the cutscene I was talking about before that ended the trailer, which is Riku with his broken Keyblade, placing it in the sand on the beach and leaving it for his other self. And Mickey's along with him, and they're both in their new outfits that they got at the end of 0.2. They're in the same style that Sora's outfit is in 3, So it's got the plaid accents, but it has their respective colors in there. So Riku still got his yellow, and I think Mickey still has the red that he normally has. So I like that they have this kind of this consistent uniform, kind of, or uniform design aesthetic that the three of them have. Which makes me hope that like the rest of the lights we are getting in the game, which are like Kyrie and Lee and Ventus and Aqua, if they get new costumes, it'll be the same aesthetic. So kind of show a uniformity for them, since all of the darknesses are going to have the goddamn organization cloak, no matter how they're supposed to look. Especially with Vanitas, since he's wearing he has an armor suit, and it's like, nah, I'm gonna wear the cloak over it.
Well, the cloak means you're evil.
For the most part, yes, that is true.
I mean, why try to fix what ain't broken?
Like, the only ever two people who have ever worn that goddamn cloak that weren't evil were Riku and Mickey.
Hmm.
And what's hilarious is that the figure arts for Mickey from words right there for Mickey from Kingdom Hearts 2 is Mickey in the cloak. Not the clothes he has in the game. No, him the cloak. Which makes me hope that the KH2 figure arts line, or the Kingdom Hearts figure arts line, whatever they're doing with it, will do Mickey in his proper clothes and maybe give him Starseeker, since they're only doing one Keyblade or one weapon per figure, which is sad. Because Sora only has his Kingdom Key, Donald only has his starting staff, Goofy only has his starting shield. Which is a shame, because the PlayArts Kai did weapon packs and gave you like a lot of different Keyblades from the different games that they did toys for. Well, moving on, we have some Prime 4 rumors, kind of. Apparently, thanks to LinkedIn and where else is this going to get from? Because I think there's a secondary source that talks about this, but it might not be.
I know Eurogamer had something on it.
Right, but I mean, like, the source of this information, not necessarily who reported on this. Because I know this is the reason this is starting out is because somebody's LinkedIn profile from Bandai Namco, specifically the Singapore studio, has stated that they're working on, what did they say? A first-person shooter adventure exclusive to the Nintendo Switch.
So, Metroid Prime 4.
Yes. Literally, there is nothing else this could be.
Oh, sure there is. I mean, we could totally have a Yoshi shooter in first person, correct?
Sure.
Because, I mean, we know what the Kirby one is at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that would have to be the only other logical answer there.
Mm-hmm.
That still isn't logical because, reasons.
Mm-hmm. Now, for those wondering how legitimate this is, LinkedIn is essentially the Facebook of business. A lot of people have their resumes and like material as job listings and what they worked on LinkedIn. So if somebody has their stuff listed on there, you can either check that they're an actual employee of who the fuck they say they're working for, and well, this person does work for this company, so yeah. I'd say this is fairly legitimate.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? Does this make you a little bit happier, a little bit sadder about Metroid Prime 4?
A little bit more on the fence. Like, I don't know 100%. One of those I want to have faith in them, but at the same time, I'm like, Retro did the first three. I've got a feeling this one's probably not going to live up to what the first three did.
Well, I think our only basis for outsourcing outside of Retro, well, outsourcing outside of the Nintendo circle of studios of a Metroid game is Other M. So not the best bar to be set at. I'm hopeful.
I'm not even really going to consider Other M into the equation there. And the reason I say that is because, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Bandai Namco also the same ones that do the Warriors?
Yes, they were responsible for Hyrule Warriors and Fire Emblem Warriors.
So, I mean, there's potential.
Mm-hmm.
Am I gonna say that that's a surefire? They're definitely gonna do a good job. No.
Considering this game is a title and a logo, not the best show for the game so far.
And that's exactly why I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm not sold yet.
Mm-hmm.
They need to prove it. Really,
Mm-hmm.
is what this boils down to.
Well, we got like 4-ish months to like E3, so
Yeah, but I don't know if waiting until E3 is going to be the smart decision on this, though. Because isn't it supposed to come out this year?
Yeah. As I Google this,
I think.
Maybe
Maybe not. I might be wrong on that. We might not have got a...
It is scheduled to be released beyond 2017.
That's right. Well, maybe then. I still don't know. I feel like we need something before E3. It don't have to be physical gameplay, but it could at least be proof that they're doing something decent with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of agree with a comment that I saw. I would have to think we're going to see a port of the Metroid Prime trilogy prior to its release.
Yeah.
Which, that's going to be kind of good and crappy at the same time. Because if you think about it, that'll be the fourth Nintendo console that Metroid Prime and Metroid Prime 2 will have been on at that point. And the third for Metroid Prime 3.
Well.
Because obviously the GameCube, their original releases,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Wii and Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those, it's like, you know, maybe too much release. Just maybe. I would honestly right now probably be more hyped for a port. And I don't mean a port of the Wii U or the Wii trilogy. I mean a port of 1 and 2 respectfully without motion controls. And then 3 as is. Because, I mean, 3 was developed with motion controls in mind. As much as I hate motion controls, I also would rather the game be represented the way it was originally designed.
Mm-hmm.
So, screw it, leave motion controls in.
Yeah.
The Joy-Cons can handle that.
Yeah.
I mean...
Speaking of 3, did you see Gerard's review of 3?
Nope.
Oh. He
That's honestly the only one of the trilogy I've not played.
Oh, he was all right with it. It doesn't have the same feel as the rest of the Prime series, and it's because
that's
you're
why I didn't play it.
Well, for him, one of the things that kind of took him out of it was you're not as alone as you normally are in Metroid.
Well, the statement you made about it doesn't feel like the other two, or really Metroid games in general. That's the main reason why I never pursued trying to play 3. Because everything I had heard about it was that it felt different and that it was kind of the weakest out of the 3. And I'm like, eh.
I think like the core of the gameplay is there. It's just a lot of the atmosphere and like I think it's just really the atmosphere of Metroid's not there because you're not alone. Like there's people talking to you. You're like actually connected to other people in this game, unlike in other Metroid games where it's you, a map, and everything wants to kill you.
And if you have anything, it's usually lore background that you find out about. Doesn't really have any physical someone's there telling you.
But here there's other characters that talk to you and to other people.
To this, I say, though, if you think about it, was it Fusion or Zero Mission that the computer was kind of guiding you through?
Fusion.
And that one was tied directly with Metroid Prime 1. I almost feel like they thought that was a good idea and wanted to implement it, but didn't have a good way to do it until then. And maybe that was what happened.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying I think that's what happened there.
Yeah, it also kind of feels more like an action movie in places. Also, you can't 100% the game anymore because online.
Well, that sucks.
Yep, Gerard was very, very salty and disappointed by that.
No doubt.
He's also reviewed Infinite, I think, yesterday, and I haven't watched it. Which is weird because I love Infinite, but I just haven't sat down to watch his review of it. Because he's doing Threequel month this month.
Ah.
But I guess moving on, we have things we can use our gold coins for on our My Nintendo account.
Except for it probably isn't going to be much.
No. Essentially, you can use your gold coins to get a discount on your purchases on the eShop of the Wii U, the 3DS, and starting early March, the Switch. And it's a percent, too. This article doesn't do the math, but I think it's like 400 coins gives you like a 4% discount ish, I think.
Well,
it's somewhere in that ballpark.
Something I had read was essentially one gold coin represented 1 yen in the Japanese one.
That's a penny.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, 1 yen is essentially a penny in America, relatively speaking. Conversion rates vary there, but 1 yen is a penny. So 100 yen is $1, 1,000 yen is $10. do your math from there. Yeah, you're not getting that much of a discount.
Yeah. Now, I mean, it might be region specific. We might wind up seeing a little more from it, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I want to say, what was it? My Nintendo News that I saw this on that they did the math on this. Let me look. Wait, what? Don't mind me. I got distracted by another article that sounds kind of cool, actually. Mini case, Switch case keychains that actually hold the cartridges.
Hmm.
It's not that one. Here it is. Or not. Nope. Okay, it was somebody else who did the math. Can't find that. But yeah, it's not that much, but it's something. It's something we can spend the points on.
Yeah, it's not much.
My Nintendo Rewards is kind of disappointing.
Yep.
All right. Well, you know how I've been bitching about cross tag battle?
Uh-huh.
Well, there's a little redemption we're getting. You know how Yang and Blake were going to be DLC?
Yeah.
Apparently, they're free DLC.
What gave them the change of heart?
I don't know. Everyone bitching about the fact that their release plan was stupid.
Oh, so their release plan being stupid is what changed everything there?
Apparently.
Hmm.
But no, Blake and Yang, not free DLC. So you get the entire team of Ruby when you purchase the game. Eventually, because Blake and Yang are still DLC and they're not going to be out at release. And Blake's going to be out first, and then Yang's going to be out after all the rest of the DLC. Do you still have that link to the Keys Eye video that I linked you last time?
I probably do.
Can you play that real quick?
I'm kind of in the middle of something, so I
Okay.
won't be able to at the moment.
Okay, that's fine.
But yeah, the sentiments are there.
Yep. Yeah, if you don't know what that is, just go watch last week's, or not last week, the last podcast, and just listen to that video on loop for like a good hour or so. And yeah, I still feel that way. Moving on. I did not want you in a new window. I wanted you in a new tab.
New window.
No. And link. Okay, that one loaded. Oh dear.
We're sorry, your princess is in another castle.
Up there it goes. Jesus. And it was a quick one. Going to be a quick one too. Well, you know how we didn't have a release date for the online service for the Switch yet?
Uh-huh.
We do now, and it's September.
Woohoo.
Yay! I have to start paying $20 a year for online service in September.
Could be worse. Could be 60.
Can I buy it? Yeah. Yes, it can. And for every single one of you complaining about the $20 price, remember, they could charge you 60, like Microsoft and Sony do. But they're not. So take it while we can. Because they're probably going to have to jack up the price at some point.
Maybe not.
So I'd say the best advice I could give: buy $60 worth of it now, so you can get like 3 years in advance. Our last little article for the week is you know that Detective Pikachu movie?
So we're on that again.
Yep. Guess what somebody stumbled across in England?
What?
Set. We've got photos of the set for the movie. Oh my god, this is happening.
We knew it was.
I know, but it's one thing to be like, this is happening. And then it's another thing to see photos of the set where they are filming and go, yep, this is really happening. And I'm going to have this same reaction in like 5 months when we get a trailer for this goddamn movie. But the first photo shows us the police department, and hey, look, there's a Victini in the badge. That's nice. An odd choice for a Pokemon, because how many people remember Victini?
Wait, give me a second. Someone will answer. Probably not.
Do you know who Victini is?
I probably do, but I don't remember right offhand.
Black and white.
That's probably why I don't right offhand.
Okay, it's the one legendary Pokemon that gets to be at the front of the Pokedex, or the front of its region. I don't know why, it just is. It's the first Pokemon in the black and white, or in the black and white stuff. You could have gotten a hold of it. The first people that got a hold of it were pretty much the people who bought Black and White day one, because you got a code that lets you go to the island to catch it, essentially. Next up, we have a missing Pokemon board, and apparently we have a Graveler, 3 of the same Machamp, and a Pancham that are all missing. That is literally the exact same picture of a Machamp. Or is that... No, that's a Machamp. I was about to say it's a Machoke, but no, that's a Machamp. That's the exact... Is that just the same missing poster repeated 3 times?
Looks like it.
It's the same ad. I think it's just an ad to join the police department. 2 of the same graffiti ad. And was that a missing poster? Or no, that's another ad. 2 to 3 different case reports, I think. Another, and like 5 letters, 6 letters, I think, that are all different. We got a welcome to the police plaza. Apparently there's no skateboarding, no rollerblading, and no cycling in the plaza.
Fun.
Yep. And a cover up of what I assume is the police cars, since it's raining. So yeah, here's the set, folks. I can't believe this is happening.
I can.
Of all the live action Pokemon movies we can have, this is it, folks.
Yep.
And Pikachu's being voiced by Ryan goddamn Reynolds. I swear to God, all of this just sounds like a fever dream.
But it's not.
It's like, this can't be real. This isn't real. How is this real? How did this happen? It's like, I'm not mad that this is happening. I'm confused and bewildered because
this is happening.
Yes! We're getting a Detective Pikachu movie. Like, yes, it's a Pokemon thing, but like take a step back and go, we have a Pokemon movie based on a spin-off game that came out 2 years ago, only in Japan, that was a visual novel. That starred a talking Pikachu that can't do shit except solve crimes, hit on women, and drink coffee.
Yep.
There needs to be a story on how we got here, because I refuse to believe that there is not a story on how we got here. I refuse to believe that they just went, oh, let's make a Detective Pikachu movie. No. You don't choose to make a Detective Pikachu movie. No, there are reasons this has happened. There's a nonsense reasons this is happening, and I must know the official story. But with that, that's the end of articles. And we get the releases. And Jesus Christ, why is everything coming out on the 13th?
Because reasons?
Like, look, this is ignoring everything that would come out on the PC, which, by the way, would like double this goddamn list of everything that would be coming out in the next 2 weeks on PC. But yeah, this is... Ugh. So, one moment. On the 13th, we're getting Dynasty Warriors 9 for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. Kingdom Come Deliverance for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. Monster Energy Supercross, the official game for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC. Owlboy for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. South Park: The Stick of Truth for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. The Fall Part 2 Unbound for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege Advanced Edition for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Crossing Souls for PlayStation 4 and PC, CubeWorks for PlayStation 4, Drunken Bar Fight for PlayStation 4, Knockout League for PlayStation 4, Mahjong Carnival for PlayStation 4, Pinstripe for PlayStation 4, Pop-Up Pilgrims for PlayStation 4, Sketch for PlayStation 4, Sprint Victory for Sprint Vector, not Victory, Vector for PlayStation 4. I can't read, folks. True Fear for Forsaken Souls Part 1 for PlayStation 4. Wonder Boy, The Dragon's Trap for PlayStation 4 and Switch. The Longest 5 Minutes for Vita, Switch, and PC. Radiant Historia, Perfect Chronology for 3DS. And ASCII 2 Game Series beginning for PC. Why there's a game series based on ASCII, I don't know. But that's why it made the list. All right. On the 14th, the story goes on for Xbox One and PC. Guild Battle Arena for PlayStation 4 and PC, and Slice Dice Rice for PlayStation 4. On the 15th, we have Secret of Mana for PlayStation 4 and Vita, Johnny Turbo's Arcade Gate of Doom for the Switch, Torque L Physics Modified Edition for the Switch, and Xenodrifter for Switch. On the 16th, we have Fee for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC, and we have Bayonetta 2 and Bayonetta 1 on Switch. On the 20th, Hands of the Gods, Smite Tactics for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Oh boy, the 20th is going to be such a fun day on the internet because we have Metal Gear Survive coming out for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. You know, that Metal Gear game, that's 4-player co-op horde mode survival game that everyone so wants to be the next Metal Gear game. Oh boy. Oh joy. Pinball FX3, Jurassic World Pinball for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC. The Station for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. Deadbolt for PlayStation 4 and Vita. Little Witch Academia. Chamber of Time for PlayStation 4 and PC. The Persistence for PlayStation 4. Xeon Valkyrie Plus for PlayStation 4. Old Man's Journey for the Switch. And Puzzle Puppers for the Switch. On the 21st, it's Road Rage World 1 for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Xenon Valkyria Plus for Xbox One, and Layer of Fear Legacy for the Switch. On the 22nd, we got Zoom Speedrunners from Hell for PlayStation 4, Pac-Man Championship Edition 2 Plus for the Switch, Super Rolla and the Lost Burgers for Switch, and the greatest of all heroes, graces the Switch as Typo Man Revised comes out. I am very tempted to get that.
Typo Man the typoing?
Yes. For Typo Man truly is the greatest hero of our time. And on the 23rd, we have Pass Cure for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC, and Sword Art Online Fail Bullet for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. Stuff everywhere. All right. So, you know that build stuff we were talking about at the top of the show?
Talking about it at the bottom of the show, too.
Yep, because it's time for quick draws, and mine's going to go to the toy scan that I totally expected to be talking about today, but I wasn't expecting all of this. Okay, so we're just going to go image by image by image, and I'm going to try to help you transition as necessary. But there's a little bit of mix up in the information in orders. So I'm going to try to give you the best follow I can.
So it's probably going to look like crap by the time it's said and done.
Yes. Because the information is in release order and the pictures are not.
Sounds about right.
All right. But before I do this, I'm going to say a couple things real quick. First and foremost, when I was talking to my neighbor about this, because I'm trying to get him into writer stuff and get him to watch build, he was asking me why they were showing this much stuff off this early. And it made me realize that if you don't know what these toy scans are, it makes no sense why you're seeing, 3 months, 1, 2, 3, 4 months worth of toys in February before any of this shit even gets mentioned in the show. So, for those wondering, these toy scans are from a toy catalog that shops receive that essentially sell Rider toys. And this gives them a preview of the merchandise they're going to be selling in 4 months, in like a few months, and the timeline of the release of that merchandise. It's on both Tokenation and other websites. Is our first initial image of these toy scans, and you can see on the previous page the Lupin Ranger versus Powder Ranger scans. You know, the show that just started this week, and we already have a second set of toys catalog scans for that give us the seventh Ranger in his mech. Like, we as the normal people aren't supposed to see this. We're not supposed to see this stuff, but this stuff gets leaked anyway, and is almost always our first sign of whenever stuff is going to be coming out. Secondly, technically, all of these toy catalogs are spoilers. Technically, because it's showing stuff well in advance. But since we lack context to anything in the show, outside of how things are connected to each other in terms of forms and stuff, yeah. So build spoilers, kind of, even though they're contextless spoilers, so it's not technically a spoiler, in my book at least. So with that out of the way, let's get rolling. All right, where to start? I guess we are starting with Build's final form as soon as I find the information. This will be coming out in about mid-June, and it is called Genius Form, using the Genius Full Bottle, which has the power of all 60 full bottles, and is the exact same form we saw 2 months ago, and a Toys can that we never got, and is not in this package. So I have no idea where it's from, or how the hell it leaked 2 months in advance. But I will say, Genius Form looks way better than when it initially got shown off. Like, I like how Jesus' helmet, like, it looks like Build is extremely pissed off now. Because of the tube eyes. So yeah. It's still going to be put into the build driver. It looks to be a 2-prong set. It will most likely, it's going to have its own sounds and effects, but it technically will work with the hazard trigger, since that's separate from any sounds in the belt. It'll just have a lot of noise overlap. Just like it does with the Rabbit Tank Sparkling Can and the Cross Dragon. Next up, and is actually the first thing we're actually going to get out of this, and that's going to be in mid-April, and that is Cross Magnum. Utilizing the Magnum Knuckle cross by placing this in the build driver with the Magna? Yes, Magma Full Bottle will get to be Claws Magnum. And it looks fantastic and wonderful, and is a severe improvement from Cross Charge. Like, thank God he got a third form. Because this looks way better, and I love it. Next up, in, I believe, all of this, except for one thing, is coming out mid-May. And this is Kamen Rider Evolve, using the Evolve driver, which is a repaint of the build driver, with the Cobra Evolve bottle and the Rider Evolve bottle. He's going to become Kamen Rider Evolve. This is most likely Suichi, aka Stark, considering it's a Cobra full bottle. Or Evolve bottle, technically. Apparently, all of the full bottles will work in here, and they'll just be Evolve matches instead of best matches. I don't know if the sound effects are going to be any different for those best matches. We'll have to wait and see. But the next thing is the thing that's going to be coming out in early July, and that is the Evolve Trigger, which allows Evolve to become, Black Hole Evolve? Or Evolve a Black Hole. And on top of that, before then, he's going to get Kamen Rider Evolve. What is Evolve Rabbit form and Evolve Dragon form, which is Build and Claws respectively. He can literally turn into Build and Claws. And Rabbit gets its own logo now, which is kind of adorable looking.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Which, seeing these two here, and bear in mind, we don't have anything past July in this set of toy catalog scans, so that this essentially takes us to right about before the solo movie happens, whatever Build solo movie is going to be, and the next scans we are going to get sometime in June or May. will show us whatever we're going to get for the movie and whatever we're going to get for the end of the show, essentially. Which makes me wonder, are we going to get a Grease and a Rouge full bottles? Which would be like a Robots full bottle or Robots Evolved bottle, and I guess the Bat one instead of the Crocodile one, technically.
I mean, it could be possible.
Mm-hmm. Next up, this is still in mid-May, will be the DX Bat Engine full bottle set, which is going to give us, I believe, in the Evolve driver, Kamen Rider Mad Rouge. It's not just Kamen Rider Rouge, it's Mad Rouge, which looks to be a repaint of the base Night Rouge set, or Night Rouge suit, with a new helmet. I'm very concerned that Rouge is going to be going from the Slash driver and the Crocodile Cracked full bottle to Crazy Mad Rouge. I'm very concerned for Gitaku's sanity now.
He had sanity.
Okay, what's ever left of his sanity? The next one gives us 2 more best matches. These are actually two of the first things we're going to get in April, which is Rhino Dryer and B Submarine? Hornet Submarine, I think, is what it is. Let me see if I can find it listed here. No. I do not see it listed. But I believe that's Hornet Submarine is the best match you see on the bottom. Next is from the Build Chain series, which is the DX or the toy release of the Hazard Trigger, plus the armors for Rabbit Rabbit and Tank Tank. Those are coming out in mid-April. So it's going to be mid-April before you get any posable figure of Hazard Trigger. And then in mid-June, you can get the Build Chain series figure for Genius, which apparently has some rotating gimmick on the head that turns the pattern on the chest. Not sure what that's about. So yeah, that's everything we got for Build. So to summarize, for between April and June, we are getting 2 final forms, a 5th writer, who's technically the second villain that we got. Rouge is getting a 3rd form, and that 5th writer has 4 goddamn forms. Our 5th writer has 4 forms. Bear in mind, we're going to be in the 30s at the point Evolve debuts. What? This never happens. Never. Ever. 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 Evolve will have more forms than our secondary writer. That never happens. Never. Whenever you come in terms of starting in the show, you get more forms. Because that's how this shit works. Chase did not have more forms than Mach. Mach does not have more forms than Drive. That is the order of things. We have messed with the natural order of things. Literally, we have messed with the natural order of things. Because Evolve will have the second most forms of all of the writers in the show. Behind Build. And it's impossible for anyone to have more forms than Build at this point. So technically, Evolve gets to have the most forms out of all of the secondary, tertiary riders. So yeah, it is fairly shocking, fairly kind of groundbreaking. And I think what's most important here, for me at least, all of these designs look gorgeous. Like, Genius looks way better than it did 2 months ago. Claws finally has a proper, really good, upgraded form. Evolve looks fantastic. And all of his upgraded forms look great. Mad Rouge, while it's a repainted suit, essentially, still looks good with the repaints. So, yeah, I'm excited for Build. As my phone restarts for no reason. So, Tommy, what do you think looking at all of this?
I don't know what to think, actually.
I do not blame you, because this is not what I was expecting. To be honest, I was expecting half of this. I was expecting, like, Build to have his final form at this point. Maybe Claws to have an upgrade. Maybe something else thrown in there, but not a completely new rider with 4 forms. And then Rouge to get a 3rd form. Actually, I could believe Rouge getting a 3rd form at this point, just for kicks. Because Bat Engine was already in the driver and people were expecting that.
Right.
But, like, repainting the build driver and releasing that in the hazard trigger? Like, the closest thing we've ever gotten to that is Gold Drive's driver, which didn't even see a release, I think, until after the show. Because it was a premium Bandai release. Like, that wasn't a retail release because of how late in the show it was. And I can't think of another time we've had the main driver of the show repainted and released in the show, during the show. Okay, no, Kiva did it. Yeah, Kiva did it. But it's been since Kiva. Because, like, it never happened for Double. It never happened for O's or Forte or with. I don't think. Yeah. Or no, technically it happened with Wizard, but. Okay, so it's kind of happened a couple times, but, like, still, this is shocking. And really gets the speculation turning, because, like, what does this mean for Suichi's overall goal? Like, what's the point of the Evolve driver now? Like, is that representation of the power he's after?
Maybe.
Because, like, he's using a literal rider full bottle. Which makes me wonder, how did he get a rider full bottle? Because there's one character here that's not represented. And I don't think he might be surviving too much longer. Granted, he might be represented, he's just not human anymore. I am excited for Build. And I am honestly expecting it to, if it keeps on track, like I said earlier, if it keeps on track of where it is and maybe fixes a couple things, I think it'd easily crack the top of my favorites list. Which is even more weird to say, because that favorites list consists of every single show of the last 9 years except Ghost. Which I had to take a second and go, has it literally been 9 years? Has it literally been 9 shows since Decade? And it has. Because, what was it? Some magazine somewhere did a side-by-side of the 10, like, Heisei Phase 1 writers and then the 9 Heisei Phase 2 writers. And it's like, yeah, it has been 9 years since Decade. And 8 of those 9 shows have been, like, my favorites. The only 2 on that list that aren't from this Phase 2 is Kuga and Agito. And nothing else of the Heisei era has really cracked that list. But I am super excited for Build. And Build this week was really good. And I can't wait for subs tomorrow morning. And hopefully Lupin Ranger and Powder Ranger get subbed at the same time so I can literally have a superhero time I can watch on my TV. Because, have you heard of Plex?
I think so.
Well, I got it downloaded on my computer, and with a little kind of oddball jerry-rigging with my TV that also has a Plex app, I can stream anything video-wise from my laptop to my TV. The reason I say jerry-rigging, because I believe Plex works off the existing connection you would have from your computer to your router to your smart TV that would be connected to your router. And it passes the video through that connection. Because that works, right? I'm not just making up shit.
I believe you're right, yeah.
Okay. It works off that connection. But since I don't have a router, I have to use a virtual router, which is technically my computer. So it's kind of weird and jerry-rigged, but it works. I was watching Surprise Drive on my TV, which I got reminded of how good that movie was and how much it kind of feels like A to Z, but doesn't feel like it's trying to rip off A to Z. It just has that core concept of dealing with the really close connection between the partners of those respective shows and what happens when you lose that partner and the other person has to essentially go on their own for most of the movie, and then they come back together and then whip the main villain's ass really good. And also that movie, watching that movie again, I'm like, yeah, Dark Drive is technically Edgy's form, Edgy's like version of Drive in the future. And also watching it, knowing how it ends, I'm really paying attention to all the clues of how like Paradox's plan is put into effect. The only thing I wish is the Trideron key was a thing in the show. And it wasn't just this literally shows up in this one scene because this is important for the movie later on. And I also wish they did something with the next Trideron in the show, since it's technically still around somewhere. Because I really like the next Trideron, and I kind of wish they released it. Although, technically, I could probably do it myself, because all I would need is a model kit of the Mercedes car they used in the movie. Because, unlike the Trideron, which is... what car is it? I know I've seen the name for it. It's like a Honda something, I think. But it's heavily modified with the new... all the new parts and stuff they put on it. They didn't change a damn thing on the body for the next Trideron. They just painted it. So for those of you who collect Figuarts and have Dark Drive and are going to go, they're never going to release the next Trideron. All you have to do is just find you a Mercedes of that model, and I guarantee you those exist, that would just fit in scale with Figuarts, which, by the way, would not be that hard. All cars are off all cars of that kind are on a scale system. Just find the right, just approximate the scale with the Trider on, and then you're fine. And just paint it. I think I've seen someone paint it, do a custom. And I think all he did was paint it. But yeah, I really love Surprise Future. I might watch something else tomorrow after I get done with the dumb safety test I have to take. That's going to take like 2 hours. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the show.
Yeah, because I kind of don't have anything else.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you want to talk about before we end off?
Nah. I can't think of anything else.
All right. Well, we'll be back in 2 weeks with all sorts of new news and stuff. Hopefully there's no more Kingdom Hearts news, because I don't need any more Kingdom Hearts news. I'm good. I am happy and content. I have waited patiently for 3. And as long as 3 comes out before Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'll be happy. I don't care what the quality of it is, as long as it's not like a terrible game. As long as it's a good game, I'll be happy. And it comes out before Final Fantasy VII Remake. Because if it comes out after that, I will literally throttle somebody for that one.
Not it.
Because fuck that. Fuck your non-existent game that you teased the fuck out of, that you finally had to make because enough people fucking demanded it.
But yeah.
I'll be back Tuesday with the last Divine Beast, and then whatever comes after that. Probably Shrine, so I can pull the Master Sword.
And I probably will try to stream tomorrow to actually get a video of an Odyssey run.
A good Odyssey run?
A decent one at least.
It'll be better than mine.
It'll
well, it's not even a run.
It'll probably be crappy in some sense of the word.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome to try again if you want, or watch and see what I do.
Mm-hmm. I think what's going to happen next time I run is I'm just going to open up a Word document and just have a list of the moons I need to get and where they're located. Just go, all right, just go get this moon. It doesn't matter how I get to this moon, just get this moon. Because this is the moon I need. Because we're not going to be going for Sombrero percent. We'll do Fedora percent, but not Sombrero percent. I do need to look back and figure out all the percent names, and that's probably just going to be the name of the run. But yeah, we will see you then, folks.